When the girl was old enough to walk, she began to float, 2 or 3 inches above the ground, and then higher and higher until her head hit the ceiling, and her mother had to buy an extra extendable ladder just to bring her down. "You must keep it a secret," the neighbours said. So the mother tied a piece of string from the girl's hand to her own and let down the bottom of every skirt so no one could see the space between the shoes and the floor. One day the mother forgot to lock the kitchen drawer, and the girl found a knife, a big knife, the best knife for old bread and tough legs of ham, and she dragged it down her body, top to bottom, opening herself like a leather bag. She stepped out of the skin and kicked it away where it hit the wall, splat, and slithered to the ground. The mother tried to catch her daughter, but there was nothing there to hold on to. "Look up, look up, look up," the little girl said, and she flew around her mother and did somersaults in the air and walked along the clothesline and made silly faces at the window while the mother cried, and the skin turned to slush in her hands.
How was the party?
It's fine.
And what about Isabel? How's she finding Edinburgh?
I don't know.
You didn't ask her?
I didn't really talk to her.
She's been away for 3 months.
It's not like anything has happened.
She moved cities, started university.
I meant to me.
Anna.
No, Mum.
This is what happens after school.
Okay.
You make different choices. Some of us go to university and some of us don't. And if you don't, it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
I'm not embarrassed.
Okay.
I'm not embarrassed, Mum.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that.
I'm actually thinking about applying this year, so.
Applying where? Edinburgh?
No. Leeds, maybe? Or Hull? I've also been thinking about Swansea.
Swansea?
Yeah.
We don't know anyone in Swansea.
Which is kind of what's so great about it.
Have you been thinking about this for a while?
A couple of months.
How long would the drive take?
I don't really know.
Well, the train is at least 4 hours.
I guess.
Which is kind of far, don't you think?
I mean, no, not really. Because Erin is at Nottingham and April is at Plymouth and Hannah McEachern is going on an exchange programme to Italy. And if she can go halfway across Europe, then...
Yes, but what does Hannah McEachern have to do with you?
I'm just saying, if Hannah McEachern can go to Italy...
Yes, but as far as I am aware, Hannah McEachern has never been diagnosed.
Mum!
I'm just saying, love, be reasonable, okay? I have to remind you to take your medication as it is. You barely keep to your sleep schedule. What time is it now? 2:30 in the morning, and you're thinking about moving 4 hours away by yourself. Listen, I'm not saying no.
No, I think that's exactly what you're saying.
Anna, if you're going to get yourself all worked up.
I'm not worked up.
Well, you certainly look like you're heading there. I'm
not worked up. I'm fine. I'm fine, Mum. You know, I do think it is disturbing how you don't want me to do anything with my life.
Is that really what you think that I want, Anna? Love, if you went to university, I would be thrilled. I just think that we can find you something a little closer to home.
It's good, isn't it? I knew I liked to write, but I didn't know I was any good at it.
You were a very bright little girl.
Not bright.
No?
I was brilliant. The knife, the skin, how she does away with it all. Those are some pretty abstract connections. Which is advanced for an 8-year-old.
You've decided that, have you?
I mean, I'm no expert. I haven't studied it like you have. But I'm guessing that's advanced, right?
Well, most 8-year-olds do tend to focus on the obvious. Bob is a man. Bob has a hat. Bob likes his hat.
But when I was 8 years old...
Anna.
Sorry. Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No. But when you ask a question, you need to listen to the answer.
Sorry. Understood. Can I?
Go ahead.
But when I was 8 years old, I could fill a whole notebook with stories. And this isn't the only one. I was going through Mum's wardrobe the other day and I found something fantastic. Hundreds of notebooks, loose sheets of paper, all categorised in shoe boxes by the age I was when I wrote them. Mum's kept them all. And that's strange because Mum hates looking backwards. She'll buy a whole new bottle of milk before she'll even let the old one reach its use-by date. But she kept these. I've spent most of the night reading them, and they're just, the ones around 4 are mostly illegible, but 7, 8, 9, 10 are just, look up, look up, look up, the little girl said. And she flew around her mother and did somersaults in the air and walked along the clothesline and made silly faces at the window while the mother cried, and the skin turned to slush in her hand. I was 8.
Like I said, you were a very bright little girl.
Do you want me to read you another one?
I'm sorry, we don't have time.
Just
No.
one more.
No, Anna.
Bang! And into the water they dived.
Anna, I need to talk to you.
Is something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong.
Because when someone says, I need to talk to you...
Listen, Anna, we just need to have a conversation. Anna, someone with my training wouldn't usually see a patient past the age of 18.
Okay, but I've been 18 for a while now, so...
Yes, I know. And you've been stable for so long.
I have, yeah.
And you've proven to me that you're able to deal with change and cope with stress.
No, I can definitely do that.
Which is why I know you'll manage this transition to a new psychiatrist.
An
adult psychiatrist. And I don't want you to worry about this, okay? The timing can vary from patient to patient. We can start the transition to adult services now, if you like, or we can do it over the next 6 to 8 months. It's whichever you prefer.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say I didn't need the pills anymore. I've been on them 7 years. Surely they've worked by now.
You have an illness, Anna.
But I'm older now. I'm stronger. How do you know I haven't worked out some sort of equilibrium all on my own? Maybe we should try it, just for a bit.
I don't think so.
We can test it for science. We'll test the hypothesis.
No, Anna.
You can't stop me, you know. If I wanted to, I could just stop taking them.
Listen to me. And listen very carefully. That medication has been in your body for 7 years. Your body's learned to adapt to it, learned to process it, and most importantly, it's learned to expect it. If you stop taking them, Anna, you won't just regress, you'll plummet.
So when I'm 30, when I'm 40, when I'm celebrating my first and only centenary, I'll still be popping pills?
Not necessarily. If you've been stable for long enough and
I have, you said so yourself.
Then the medication can be tapered off. Now's not the right moment, Anna. You're about to move to a new doctor.
I don't want a new doctor.
I'm supposed to recommend someone else.
Says who?
It's just the way the system works.
What? Because I turn 18 and suddenly I'm a completely different person?
Well, no, but...
So you can't make an exception?
On the basis of what?
Well, I don't know, that leaving my therapist of 7 years would be a bit fucking shit.
Yeah. Yes, it is a bit fucking shit. And completely arbitrary. It's more to do with funding than anything you, the patient, may or may not actually need. But I'm sorry, and I just can't justify it any longer. Hannah, I won't send you to just anyone. I will find someone I trust, and I will make sure you are taken care of. Okay? Anna.
Okay.
By the way, your mum called. Swansea?
Doesn't have to be Swansea.
She's worried you're not ready.
Yeah? What did you say to that?
Well, I said, as your daughter is now 18, it's no longer appropriate for me to discuss this with anyone but Anna.
You didn't?
I did.
And?
And?
Well, what do you think?
Well, if it's university you're interested in, not Swansea itself, I guess I'm not entirely sure what the problem is. I can't think of a single writer, living or dead, who felt they had to move 200 miles away to pick up a pen.
You think I can be a writer, Vivi?
At the risk of fueling that already high opinion of yourself, you really were an exceptional little girl.
Bang! And into the water they died. And the parents cheered from the side of the pool, even though they knew that their children would sink and drown and would never be Arabelle. Because although Arabelle suffered from a rare and incurable disease that prevented her from walking, in the water she was supersonic. She could swim 2 laps of the pool without ever needing to take a breath, a skill she practiced every night in the bathtub. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4. And as she lay underneath the surface trying for a record 5, she began to imagine she was something else entirely. A blue-ringed octopus, maybe, or a giant squid, or a hammerhead shark, or an electric eel. But if she absolutely had to choose, she would become a deep-sea humpback anglerfish with the crooked teeth and the droopy light on the top of its head. Because she quite liked the cold, and she didn't mind the dark. And if you had a lamp on the top of your head, then you'd always have a light to read by. And this was definitely something she'd need to consider if she ever decided to.
Afternoon. Productive day, I hope. The writing, is it going well?
Yes.
Are you nearly finished?
I only started a week ago.
How much longer?
As long as it takes.
And how long do these things usually take?
It took Jack Kerouac 3 weeks to write On the Road.
Okay.
It took Jane Austen 16 years to write Pride and Prejudice.
And who are you, Jack or Jane?
I don't know yet.
Well, when you find out.
What do you care?
I just want to know when I'll get my kitchen back.
I can't write in my room. It's too messy in there. Oh, no.
What?
Don't sit.
I need to talk to you.
I'm about to lose my thought.
I'll finish it and then we'll talk.
Oh, well, it's gone now, hasn't it?
Can't have been that important then. Can I read some of it?
No,
I'd really like to read some of it.
it's not ready.
Just a bit.
Mum, I said... Oh. Hey, yeah, no, just give me a second to, It's hard.
What is?
Writing.
I imagine so, yeah.
It's harder for me, I think.
How so?
I'm having trouble with thoughts. Normal thoughts. They get kind of stuck, half out. And some words, some really simple words, I know them, but I just can't seem to, bring them up.
And what does Vivienne have to say about it?
I haven't told her.
Why not?
She'll try and get me to take something for it.
I mean, she thinks it'll help.
I'm fine, Mum.
I didn't say that you weren't.
I said I'm fine.
Okay.
I just can't write.
Well, maybe you never could.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying, you've changed your entire life to satisfy what? Some childhood habit. And perhaps that's all it ever was. And there's no shame in admitting that.
Look at this.
Where did you get these?
Look, read it, Mum.
Have you been going through my things?
Arabelle sank, and the colours changed from blue to green to black. And then she was 4,000 metres under the surface, the top of the abyssio-pelagic zone, where the pressure can bend your bones and crush your lungs and make your head crumple like paper.
Anna!
What?
I've read these. I don't need to hear them again.
They're amazing.
They're terrifying.
But you kept them. Whole boxes of them.
For assessments.
What do you mean, assessments?
You were so young. It was hard getting anyone to see you.
You used them to prove I was ill. Do you not understand how advanced these are?
They were written by a very sick little girl.
They were written by me.
At a time where the illness was starting to take hold.
The illness, oh my God, the illness.
What's the illness?
The illness cannot write, Mother. The illness does not have an imagination. The illness cannot sit down and pick up a pen and write something because, Mother, unlike people, illnesses do not have opposable thumbs.
You were 7 years old when you first attempted.
God, Mum.
7.
It wasn't that serious.
You wrote a 6-page manifesto bequeathing toys to your friends, and then you jumped out of a bedroom window.
I was on the ground floor.
Luckily,
I fell 3 feet.
you broke your arm.
Most kids do at some point.
Not of their own volition.
You overreacted. Everyone overreacted.
I raced outside to find you, and you weren't screaming, you weren't crying, you just seemed so disappointed. Mummy, you said, I didn't think that you'd be in heaven. It's not funny.
I mean, it is a bit.
It's not.
All right, it's not.
Put them away, Anna.
No.
Then I'll take them. I should have thrown them out years ago. Did something happen at that party, Anna? Did someone say something to you that made you feel in any way less successful? If they did, I want you to know how proud I am of you and everything you have achieved, because even the smallest of your achievements are made significantly more impressive knowing the debilitating disorder you have worked against. Oh, and you have worked, Anna, you have worked so hard to reach this point, this wonderful, tenuous place where now you can't even notice it. You have never been stronger, smarter, or more capable than you are right now. And if that isn't worth 2.5 of Hannah McEachern and her passable at best Italian, I don't know what is.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do.
This is the best I've ever been.
Absolutely.
You can't even notice it anymore.
No, Anna, not at all.
Good. Because I haven't taken pills for a week and I was worried you might have twigged. Mum, what are you doing?
You lied to me.
I didn't lie to you.
Anna, we talked about this at length and we agreed that...
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I should have spoke to you about it first. I sent you an email, put it on a post-it note and stuck it to your door. I, Anna Phillips, am taking a temporary recess from any and all medication. I just didn't want you to say something perfectly reasonable, like, well, go on. I know you want to. I know you want to say it.
This is a safe place for you, Anna. I have always tried to make this a safe place for you.
I know.
So why didn't you feel like you could come to me?
Things are different now.
How so?
I'm 18. I stopped growing. All my life I've been going forwards and now I'm here. Top of the mountain. The energy that was once used to grow bones is now used to break things down.
It's a bit morbid.
No, it isn't. Because once you realise that all that previously helpful energy is now aiding your departure from life, you start taking better care of yourself. I mean, I've got a gym membership now. I'm reading the backs of cereal boxes. And then I started to think how strange it was to know the calorie intake of a bowl of cereal, but not know the contents of my own medication. Like, do you not see how strange that is?
I've never hidden anything from you, Anna.
Oh, that's not what I was
There's
saying.
just some conversations that you cannot have with an 11-year-old.
But I'm not 11 years old anymore, so...
So what would you like to know?
The pills. How do they work?
Which one?
This one. Start with this one.
Okay, well, quetiapine is an antipsychotic, which means that it
stops me from going all...
Yeah, exactly. And it's thought to do that by...
You don't know.
We have a reasonably good idea.
Reasonably?
An informed understanding.
Oh, based on?
Anna. One theory, the most popular theory, is that antipsychotics work by reducing the levels of dopamine in the brain.
Dopamine?
It's a kind of chemical messenger. It carries information along the pathways of the brain to the receptors, and if too much information is absorbed there, it can lead to some very unusual thinking.
Like what?
Uncommon connections, bizarre associations.
Oh, a 10?
Yeah, 10. And the drug prevents this from happening by blocking the receptors.
And how does the drug know to target just the dopamine receptors and nothing else?
It doesn't exactly work that way.
So it targets everything?
It affects some things that we prefer it didn't. That's why so many people experience side effects, but there's a lot of specificity. It doesn't have any impact on anything relating to your breathing, for instance, or appetite control.
What about my ability to write? In order to write a story, you need to be stimulated to do so. You might see something, hear something, remember something, which then sets up a whole train of other thoughts. A kind of uncommon connection, bizarre association, a kind of unusual thinking, no?
You could call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A pretty intense flow of information,
Anna,
which would require a lot of dopamine, but if the receptors are blocked...
It's a lot more complicated than that.
Possible? Is it possible that one of these or all of these could have impacted my ability to write?
There could be some effect. Yeah.
Every day, I wake up, I open my notebook, and nothing. There's nothing. It's like trying to light a match, except it's in the wind or the rain, or you have these really fat fucking fingers that can't hold on to little sticks, so you keep dropping it over and over again, and it's not because I'm stupid or slow, it's because the drugs have taken my receptors. They've blocked them all up, and now that I'm not taking them,
You will start to become very unwell.
but if I can write again...
Do you think it will be any easier to write in the midst of a full-blown depression, Anna?
I don't know. I've never tried it. Please, Vivi. I have been on this medication so long, I don't know who I am without it. If the things I say or do are because of the medication or in spite of it. And the one thing I do know is that before you put me on this, I could write. It is the only thing about myself that I know to be true or real or in any way authentic. And I was good, better than good. And in fact, I've been thinking for a while now that I might have been or could have been or was or am some kind of, I don't know, some kind of...
What? Some kind of what?
I don't want to say.
Why not?
Because you'll make it something bad. You'll tell me it's something bad.
Do you think you might have been some sort of prodigy? It's a very big thought, Anna.
But what if it's true?